we're going to be talking about are Premier League overrated 11s, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
we are.
Is that where we're starting?
I think that is where we're starting. So I know it's a touchy subject for some, but we're going to give it a go. Dicko, you can start us off because Geordie started off last week. Can you give us your most overrated goalkeeper, please?
We're doing this in a 4-3-3 as well, aren't we?
4-3-3 formation.
Okay.
Much more prepared than last week.
Yeah. My goalkeeper for the most overrated goalkeeper is David Raya for Arsenal. He on the XG, he hasn't actually prevented any more goals or anything like that. 3 or 4 errors leading to goals, and I just don't think he's that good for Arsenal. So yeah, overrated David Raya.
Starting off with a hot
I actually
take
don't think he was that much of an upgrade on Ramsdale when they first got him, and I still don't think he's that good of a keeper. But most overrated. It's not that he's a really shit keeper. He's still an alright keeper, but I just think he's overrated. So David Raya.
Don't Arsenal have the most clean sheets this season?
No.
They don't?
No, not in
They must be up pretty high.
Not in Forest.
Okay, yeah, are they not near the top then?
Let me have a look. But yeah, David Raya.
Mine's Ramsdale.
Ramsdale?
Yeah.
I don't think he's rated.
I was going to say.
I really rated him previously.
Rated? Okay.
I think he was good.
If he stayed at Arsenal, you would have said that he was rated. Because he was competing
Arsenal
with
fans
Raya
didn't
at
like
one
him.
point.
Arsenal fans didn't like him. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that he's that rated. I get he's not the best keeper, but I know he pulled off some worldy saves the other day against Bournemouth.
Maybe that's more personal take then, because I really used to rate Ramsdale.
Yeah,
I thought he was immense.
At Bournemouth, I thought he was going to be England's number 1.
Yeah,
but
as did I. But maybe that's more personal take, because the only other one I could say is Kepa, but no one rates him anyway.
Kepa's pretty good. Kepa's been,
I
think on stats this year, Kepa's the second or third best keeper in the league.
I just think he is overrated. He's still the most expensive goalkeeper ever.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good. But
So
you're going with Ramsdale?
I'll just say Ramsdale.
Do you know what I think? Ramsdale, from a Southampton fan, we've had awful keepers for a long time, and Ramsdale's actually one of the better shot stoppers we've had. So I am going to probably listen to Dicko here and go for David Raya. But again, that's a hot take. I imagine some people would disagree with you. I always rated him as well. But you know.
By the way, overrated doesn't mean they're crap. It just means I think they're overrated.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Who would you have put in that goalkeeper slot?
I reckon perhaps Edison this season.
Oh, I think that's harsh.
He's been injured, hasn't he?
I think that's harsh.
Really.
I know he makes clangers, but he is the best keeper on his feet.
Maybe, yeah, but your keeper needs to play with his hands. In
Yeah.
terms of what he needs to do with his feet, you can't question it.
I think people know he struggles with shot saving, so that'd be the only thing that I would say.
Depends what you want from a goalkeeper, really, but I think I'd like mine to actually save the ball.
Yeah,
I don't think
Ramsdale doesn't do that either.
No, that's kind of why I put Ramsdale in there. I expected him to do
for me, it's David Raya. For you, Ramsdale. Cool.
I'm going to pick David Raya for our team, okay?
Okay.
That's fair.
I need to write that down, don't I? Anyway, right, let's move on to centre-back pairings, okay?
We're going centre-back pairings.
We'll go centre-back pairings, yeah.
Okay.
Geordie, you can go first this time.
Martinez.
I've got him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him.
Well, that's already one nailed on place, then.
I mean, and I put De Ligt.
Okay. It's not awful. I don't think De Ligt's an awful shout.
I really rated him, and now it just.
Yeah. He moves like a bus, doesn't he? That De Ligt? But Martinez, I've got Martinez and Akanji.
Yeah.
Akanji has dropped clanger after clanger this season, but I don't know. Martinez, I definitely think for the price tag, he just doesn't seem that good.
He's just an angry umpa-lumpa.
He's just an angry little chap who's more focused on injuring the other team than he is actually playing football. So yeah, I'm more than happy to have him. Akanji, I just put in there because I just don't think for how much they paid for him. He's done very well this season. And I mean, the whole Man City backline hasn't been great. But yeah, I've gone for Martinez and Akanji.
Interesting. Well, Martinez is definitely going in then, isn't he?
Has to.
Is there any other centre-backs at the top of my head that I can think of? What Lewis Dunk? I've seen him get a lot of praise, but
how old is he now?
Get a lot of stick. I don't know. He's been around for a
He's got to be like 34,
I've seen a lot of people say that he's overrated this season.
Okay. Yeah, it's not actually that's not awful shout.
Again, I think maybe if you're playing for a top 6 club, you haven't expected
Akanji and Martinez with the price tags you would have
Palace
expected
centre back? Lacoste?
Lacroix. He's not done too bad to be fair.
Well,
Martinez
Palace
and
fans,
Akanji, I'm going to go for.
Palace fans came at Fulham saying that he was better than Joaquin Anderson, and that he would do better this season.
That's Palace fans overrated,
Yeah,
not the whole Premier League. So who are we going for there? I've done Martinez and Akanji.
So it's either Akanji or Tolit we're going for.
Akanji, you could argue, would be more of a standout because City have underperformed. That is quite a shock. Although, like, I mean, the shock factor of both United and City is pretty similar.
You could have either or. I just don't think De Ligt is that rated. Whereas I think Akanji is a little bit more rated.
I really rated him previously.
Akanji definitely was quite highly rated.
Yeah,
going
he was
into the
really.
season.
Even last season he was.
But then De Ligt, when he first, came on the scene, was meant to be this,
I mean, how much were the transfers for those two?
I think De Ligt was around 50 million.
Yeah, I think they're around the same anyway.
And Akanji, I think Akanji was a lot cheaper actually.
You could put either or.
He came from Germany, right?
I think Akanji, just because he has a bit of credit from last season.
True, treble winner.
I think I'm going to stick De Ligt in there. We've got a nice pairing of Martinez and De Ligt. Unlucky Man United fans. Let's move on to right back.
Rico Lewis.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think that's that rogue, to be fair.
Really?
Nah. He's not been good at all this season. Like, everyone was making it out like he's the next best defender, and he just hasn't been good.
But he is playing and starting in a City lineup every week.
No, he's not.
How's that City team
he's
getting
not
on?
starting. Yeah, you just said about how City having stinkers, and then you're trying to defend.
I just think of his age. He's like 18.
I actually found
18.
it really hard to choose a right back, but Rico Lewis.
I put Nico Williams. Absolutely washed, mate.
He's a left back.
Well, at the moment, but he's not naturally. He's only playing left back because Aina.
I think that's harsh to say on.
Really?
Yeah.
Nico Williams got his pants pulled down by Adama Traore at the weekend.
Yeah, but we can't just use one game.
But even so,
I think Nico Williams across the season has been pretty solid.
Really?
Yeah, compared to Rico Lewis.
Yeah, because Forest's back line has obviously performed a lot better.
So I think that's. No.
I don't think he's that good at all.
It was quite hard to choose a right back though. I don't think there's not many rated right backs in the Prem, so it's quite hard to choose an overrated one. I just went with Rico Lewis because of the amount of stuff that was around him. Just gets injured. He's still. I would still put him. Yeah, but if he was fit, he'd be the best England right back. By quite between him and Trent. Yeah, obviously.
I don't know. I think that James is a pretty good shout because everyone's saying how good he is, but then how do we know that he doesn't have good? You can't get a run of games.
If you've seen him play when he is fit, though, he is very
he's good. But
I guess you could.
He's come back from injury.
But you can't say he's overrated because he's injured. I feel like that's pretty harsh to put on a player.
But Rico Lewis is fine.
Yeah, Rico Lewis, because everyone dubbed him.
18-year-old lad.
Everyone dubbed him saying, "Oh, how good he is."
But he is. He's 18, starting
19.
for treble winner City.
No,
he's 18.
19.
Is he?
19,
I think he's 18 still.
But I don't think he hasn't been good this season though. So I would say that warrants an overrated. I'm not saying he's a bad player, am I? I'm saying he's a good player.
No, yeah.
To play for Man City, you're obviously a good player. I'm just saying people are making it out to be.
Well, I mean, I rate him, so that's clearly a good opinion. That you think he's overrated. I think he's rated.
He's 20 years old, actually.
Yeah.
Jesus, is he?
Yeah. Not that makes him,
any better.
or any worse. So if he was 18, then fair
I was giving him more credit because he was younger, but.
Who would you say, Joel? Right back.
To be honest, I'm gonna have to agree with. No, I wouldn't go Reece James. I was just,
I feel like it's pretty harsh to put an injured player in.
I do think I'd probably go with Rico Lewis on this.
Yeah, cool.
But he's still got time. I still feel like he could.
Yeah, it's not me saying he's a bad player. You got to be a very good player to play for City, but he just hasn't performed at what people make it out to be.
Yeah.
I think that's valid because I rate him really highly. So.
Yeah.
Do you think if Walker didn't leave, then he'd be in this team?
Yeah, because he was playing with Walker, wouldn't he?
No, would you say Walker's overrated? No, because I feel like Walker, everyone just rates him now.
And people
rate him for what he is.
And people were saying that, Walker was finished.
Yeah. So I don't.
Right. Anyway, we're going to go for Rico Lewis in this team.
Yeah.
I think. And then we're going to move on to left backs.
I reckon we've got the same.
I really struggled with it. To be fair, I really struggled to get left backs because I don't know.
I just did Andy Robertson, but no, I don't.
Andy Robertson.
Yeah, don't think anyone rates him.
So I've wrote down Andrew Robertson and Jose Guardiola.
Yeah.
My reason behind Guardiola, I think he's again a great player, but 55 million for a player that hasn't really done his job. What you'd expect. Young. Yeah. Again, when you bring up
he started unreal as well, and
he started
in the treble one, but.
Last season he scored loads of goals.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but you don't want your left back scoring goals, do you? Well, you do, but it's an added extra. But defending wise,
goalkeeper playing with his feet.
Yeah, but a defender, the goals are extra, but defensively, I think for a £55 million left back, you'd be expecting so much better. And I can name a lot better left backs this season. So that's why I'm saying overrated, mainly because of the price tag and what you expected for him to come and do in the Premier League for a £55 million left back.
Although that's going to be easy from a City perspective because they're just so poor at the moment, aren't they? That every one of their players is rated. So it'd be really easy to say that they're overrated at the moment because they're all playing piss poor.
I did have Andrew Robertson, but I don't think he's actually rated anymore by Liverpool fans.
That's the problem.
I think back in the day, 2-3 years ago, it was unreal. But
Mbappe did sit down Gavardio as well.
Yeah,
that's so true.
But I've mainly done that. I found it really hard to choose a left back that's overrated. So I just put in someone with a high price tag on this one. I think this was quite a hard list to do.
I think it is tough because obviously it's very subjective.
I've gone Guardiola.
What about you, Jordy? You gone for Andy Robertson?
Yeah, I went Robertson, but to be honest, that is a bit of a cop out because again, I don't think
he's actually rated
anymore.
Yeah,
I do think though. I think I'm going to put Robertson in there.
Yeah,
you both put him down, and to be honest, I've never been a big fan of his anyway. I mean, he was really good. He was like on the same level in terms of assists.
It was like 4 or 5 seasons
ago. Under Klopp. But
when they won the league.
This season he fell off. Yeah, and Liverpool fans might agree with us, but still. Overrated in terms of being one of the best left backs in the world.
I think Liverpool will definitely sign a left back this summer. So
I think so. You're right. Maybe Robinson actually would be.
I reckon they're coming for the pair of them.
Kirkers, yeah, you guys are in trouble. Unlucky.
So then we got the 3 midfielders, yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna go for what, 2 centre mids and an attacking mid.
Yeah, I've kind of gone.
I've just gone at any midfielders for this one.
I'll accept any midfielder. Go on. Who's your first?
Fabio Carvalho.
That's a cop out.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I've actually got 6.
Who's he rated by? Who's he rated by?
Well, I mean, Liverpool and Brentford.
He's not been getting a look in the Brentford.
No, he's playing for the under 21s.
No, he's playing for the 21s. But he was. I'm not being funny. He was rated as one of like the next biggest things, and just never got going anywhere.
I think take away your Fulham bias there.
All right, take away Fulham. Mason Mount.
He was good in the Championship,
but he's been injured.
Mount's been injured as well.
But Mount hasn't had a good season since 2021.
Yeah, it's been a while.
But he hasn't, and he has played over the last 3 seasons.
Again, I'd argue, does anyone actually rate Mount though?
I used to. I think he was so good during the Euros.
It seems to be like you used to rate them.
Yeah, no. All right, fine. Here's another one then. Calvin Phillips.
These are all players that no one rates, I don't think.
Calvin Phillips?
Yeah, used to rate him. Again. Okay, I'll go for someone out there. Bernardo Silva.
Really?
Yeah, he slows down their attacks so much. If you look on the ball, instead of progressing it quickly, I've seen City fans say this as well, he slows down the attack really badly.
Do you think that's because of his age now?
Could be, but I think he actually slows down that team, makes it worse. And then I've actually got Declan Rice
I've got him. No, I've got Deckers.
Or Kobe Mainoo. Only because Kobe Mainoo was dubbed this next best thing. I know he's been partly injured this season, but I don't think he was as good as what people were saying. But Declan Rice, difficult one for me to put in there because I think he is a good player, but at Arsenal, I think he's actually gone backwards.
Well, I've agreed.
Mainly because the way he used to run the ball attackingly at West Ham was a lot better than at Arsenal. It just seems sideways pass. England in the Euros, sideways
backwards.
Pass, sideways pass.
Sideways.
Whereas at West Ham, he was so good at just carrying the ball and helping with assists, goals. But I'd have to say my 2 midfielders, Bernardo Silva, Kobe Mainoo instead of Rice though.
Well, we're going to have to put Declan Rice in there because I've got him as well.
Yeah, so the first two CMs, are we going for Bernardo Silva and Declan Rice?
Did you mention your other?
Yeah.
No. I can change it to Smith Rowe.
You think Smith Rowe is overrated?
A little bit, yeah.
Wow.
I think he's got such good potential, but like the amount of noise and the amount of expectation I had for that kid because of how good he was versus the performances I've watched. He is lazy, man.
Is that why Arsenal shipped him off then?
I was going to say, he can't be that rated if Arsenal...
Yeah, if Arsenal
shipped him off. You ask any Arsenal fan and they love him and they rate him so highly. They never wanted him to leave.
That's an interesting one that you put your own player down.
I think he could come good and grow in confidence, but like I do watch him and I'm like, bro, move.
He's not that good. I put down...
He's lazy.
3 different number 10s.
Hold on, so we should clarify. We're going for Bernardo and Rice.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It's hard to, disagree with some of your points, but I feel like I don't know. Rice, has he been that bad?
No, I'm not saying he's bad. This isn't me saying he's a bad player.
Everyone knew.
I think he's a great player. Yeah, and the price doesn't help.
Crazy.
It's more compared to what you see at West Ham. I just wish he was a bit more of that player we saw at West Ham.
Maybe that's like
it probably is the system. But what I'm saying is for £105 million player to just every pass be sideways, because when he actually goes forward, he does stuff. Like it was the other day, I think against Man City, when he started actually playing a bit more attacking. He did like 2 or 3 attacking passes, and they all went well.
And you can score
So
goals.
it probably is harsh on him. I'll be honest, but I just think for the price tag and what I'd expect from a 100 mil player, I think it's more Arteta has ruined Rice than Rice being crap.
He's just filling a role, really.
The number 10s that I've put down is either James Maddison, Bruno Fernandes, or Martin Odegaard.
No, Odegaard has been
Odegaard
so
never
good.
turns up in big games. Big games, he's a shadow. I think
Arsenal fans are going to hate you.
Yeah.
No, but he does shadow in big games. In big games, he hasn't been. But I think you could say about any Arsenal player. When it comes down to it, any Arsenal player always seems to lack a bit, like we saw last season before that.
Beat City 5-1.
Yeah, but this City team's getting pumped every other weekend.
But that's still,
Pretty
you
good
can't
statement.
write that off.
Anyway, I'm just saying, in the big games, usually Arsenal players. And they agree with, I think, with that one. That last season against Villa. And the season before that, they've struggled to. But I wouldn't put him as the most overrated. I'd probably put maybe Bruno Fernandes or James Maddison. Probably James Maddison, though.
Really?
I expected a lot more from James Maddison at Tottenham. I think he's a great player as well.
He's not been like getting too many minutes though. You know what I mean? He's always getting
No,
subbed.
he's been
always
slightly
on the
injured as well, I
bench.
think. He scored against Man U and started giving the shush celebrations against 14-15. I just thought it was embarrassing. It was a tap in. You can't be shushing out and dealing it with.
Does that make him overrated though? He's not really in the English
No.
squad.
Couldn't break in. Probably should have broken in.
So I'm happy to go with Smith Rowe on that one. I was just trying to find someone on that number 10.
Smith Rowe.
I'm happy to put Smith Rowe on
Odegaard.
10. I'll put Smith Rowe in at number 10.
And Bruno as well. Bruno's a interesting take as well. Is he overrated? I still think he's Man United.
I just think he walks around and cries. Yeah, but Man United's best player could be me. They're that bad.
I'm sure they probably take
honestly.
him.
But yeah, that's what I'm happy with Smith Rowe. I just expect Geordie to say a Fulham player.
No, yeah, it's because again, I really gassed him up in my head. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, to be fair, at the start of the season, you were
we've
unbearable when you
Smith
signed
Rowe.
him. To be fair,
We just bought Smith Rowe. We're going to be unstoppable, and then
I guess he hasn't performed what you probably think he would do.
no, I think he's such a magical player, and he can do so much. He's got so much flair and ability, but then like he just gets shadowed so frequently, and he just acts disinterested, and that to me is overrated. Like when you're not too, he shows it here and there. Like at the weekend, Forest, he was brilliant. He literally linked up the play, moved a bit more than normal, but even so, like I was expecting that sort of week in, week out, that attitude, and I have seen him literally get lost and might as well not be on the pitch.
So we'll go with Smith Rowe then.
We'll go with Smith Rowe.
So that
out of all the ex-Arsenal players playing for Fulham, you know.
Reece Nelson,
that
by the
midfield
way.
is Bernardo Silva, Rice, and Smith Rowe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid. So we're going to go on to our wingers then, aren't we?
Still quite a good players in there.
It's still a pretty
they're
good
not.
team.
We're not saying they're bad players though.
No.
No, it's
They're
just overrated.
Right wing. Jadon Sancho.
He's not done that bad, but
2 goals, 4 assists.
no,
For
it's more than that.
No, 2 goals, 4 assists.
4 and 4.
2 goals, 4 assists.
Well, last week when I was looking, and I
Trust me. 2 goals, 4 assists in the Premier League.
pull it up.
Premier League, 2 goals, 4 assists.
All right, fair enough. Because that will count the stats if you look on the cups,
Yeah.
won't it? If you look on football.
I don't care.
Sterling.
Ooh.
Oh, is he rated? Is he rated?
I think everyone got excited when he went to Arsenal. Arsenal fans would have done.
Definitely underachieving.
Yeah.
But like dramatically. Like the drop off and the difference is
Yeah, 2 goals for
insane.
Sancho, by the way, this season. In the Prem.
Yeah, in the Prem.
I just think everyone expected him to be his new best thing when he moved to Chelsea, and I think he's been pretty average.
Well then yeah, I think the comparison
I just
is
watch
the other
him,
way.
and I just watch him try and skill the left back about 5 times before actually trying to cross the ball. I just think the end product just isn't there for Sancho. He's just the type of player, he gets the ball, wants to dribble past 2 players before he delivers it, and it just doesn't work.
90 million he cost
Exactly.
Man United when he came to Dortment. Everyone expected
Didn't
him
really
to be
do a
the
lot at
next
United.
best thing. And
And now
yeah, he's
he's-
done nothing at United, and then he started a little bit lively at Chelsea, and everyone thought, oh, finally, we've unlocked a player here,
Falling off.
and then he's fallen off. But so has the rest of Chelsea. So it's
Sterling,
hard to-
Sterling, I think is a great player. Back 2-3 years ago again, I just don't think he's rated, but I don't think people rate him anymore to say that he's overrated.
I would have rated him to do well at Arsenal, but
Maybe thought better, maybe an underachiever is what I put.
yeah, I do agree. And for that reason, I think I'm going to have to go with Jadon Sancho.
yep.
Left wing,
Left wing.
Son.
Yeah.
Son.
Son.
Yeah.
This season, this is based on this season. He has been dreadful, every time I watch him, I'm like, oh my god, what has happened to what
Washed.
was one of the best players in the league? Probably top 5 players in the league.
How old is he? Is he not in his prime still? He's got to be like 29, 30.
Yeah, he must be
31, I want to say.
Okay, so he's
30.
just past it.
But every time I watch Tottenham and I see Son, I'm just like, oh my god, this guy's rubbish now.
I don't think
This
he's
guy
really
used to
got
be
anyone.
so good. He was like the top players in the league. Every time you play and you'd be scared. Now I'm just like watching him, just like, oh, a bit disappointed. I just think the end product has completely gone for him.
He's 32. And he's 33 in July.
Do you think he needs someone like Solanke to perform as well? Because he's probably
He's
lost
used to having
right
Harry
now.
Kane there, isn't there? But
You
so
say that,
lost.
but when Harry Kane was injured, he would slot in. And
yeah,
play
he
up
would still
front.
get. I'm just saying this season has just been woeful. I mean, Tottenham haven't had a great season anyway. But I just think Hubin Sung this season has been pretty
I think
poor.
he's lost a yard of pace, and to him that was, you can see it.
Whether or not he's rated anymore, but I think people would have said
I
that
think this
still
season,
rating,
he's still kind
I
of.
would have put Grealish in there as well, but
threat.
I think he's gone so under the radar and been pushed out.
Massive underachiever, I'd say.
Yeah.
Grealish. You expect, but then I think going to City.
Unfair to call him overrated right now though, because he's barely been rated by Pep,
Yeah.
let alone.
I hope he moves in the summer.
I think he went to the wrong team.
Yeah, I hope
Yeah,
he moves
If he
in the
stayed at
summer.
Villa, he
But
would
then
have
Villa
gone
wouldn't
anywhere.
have not been able to spend that
Yeah,
money.
but I just think he needs to move. And Jack Grealish,
I think
there's
so.
a player in Grealish still, I think.
100%. And then Pep obviously wants to play a certain type of way.
Yeah.
So, which, doesn't bring the best out of a Grealish type of player.
So left wing, we put in
So,
Son.
I'm going for
Yeah.
Son as well. Yeah.
Up top,
Up top. Here we go.
there's Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, I put Nicholas Jackson down. I put Nicholas Jackson and Nkuku.
Yeah,
Nkuku's a
Nkunku's
centre
good
forward.
shout,
But I think it just has to be him.
Mm.
But I don't know if he's actually rated, so I don't know if it's a bit.
No, he is. We get into heated arguments
yeah.
every Sunday after
Yeah,
football
but I'd say
with Chelsea fans.
the issue with Jackson just his finishing. I mean, the other week against Bournemouth, if he had just been good at shooting, we would have been 4-0 down in the first half. I just think he has been quite disappointing based on his finishing. I think his link-up play, dribbling, is pretty decent. Just for a Chelsea main striker, you have got to bang goals, and for that reason, that's Jackson.
Yep, can't disagree. It's who I've got.
What about
Danny Ings.
Hoyland?
Is he rated?
He's not.
Should he be doing better? Yeah. I think he's an underachiever more than you could say that he's overrated.
I've only ever heard United fans say that he was good. I've not
There was
really.
the Haaland-Hoyland debate when the first time.
Yeah. I guess you could
Gonna
put.
be-
I definitely think Hoyland is definitely one you could put in there, but no, I'm gonna go.
I
for
guess I don't think he's
Jackson.
as rated anymore. But is Jack again? You can have this argument: is Jackson rated?
By
I think any
No.
Chelsea fan will tell you the same. Like this guy cannot hit a barn door.
oh, we've had different.
Then again,
debates.
but like I think it's actually really hard to choose an overrated XI.
I think you're right.
I think it
Based
is
on
really
how
like
you
I
got-
think I've been harsh on Declan Rice putting him in there.
Yeah.
I'd say it's easiest to do at the end of the season when you can reflect on
I
the whole
think
season.
it's easier to put an underachiever
Yeah.
than it is doing an overrated because I'm not calling these players shit. None of these players I'd go, oh, they're really bad. I'm just saying from what you expect
And
or
it
what
is
people
this
say
season
about
as
them.
well.
Go on then, Joel, run us
We're
through the
sticking
team.
Jackson in because
Yeah.
you guys have both agreed on that one.
Go on, run us through the team.
So in goal we have David Raya, right back Rico Lewis, centre backs Martinez and De Ligt, left back Andy Robertson, our two centre mids Rice and Bernardo, Smith Rowe in the 10, Sancho on the wing, Son on the other wing, and Jackson up front. What do you think of that?
Not awful.
Again, they're not calling them shit. We're just saying they're not as good as what we
Good
thought.
little side on its day.
I think Rice is a really good player. Just
I think there are some good players in
Yeah,
that
I love
squad
Rice.
still. And next season they might change their season. Or Sancho, who knows, might finally become the player he was at Dortmund. You never know.
you said that the last 4 seasons.
I hope he will, just for England's sake, because he was unreal for that Dortmund team. But yeah, are we happy with that team?
yeah, pretty happy.
Do we think the listeners are going to be happy with that team?
I don't know if there's much that people can argue with on that one, but
Because
let
we're
us
not
know.
calling them crappy footballers. I'm just saying they're overrated. Like David Wright is an all right keeper. He's just not as good as world class.
I'm sure the fans of some individual teams will pipe
Yeah.
up, but other
I'm
than
sure
that,
Arsenal will be annoyed about Declan Rice
mm,
being in there,
Let's hope so.
and me mentioning Odegaard as well.
That's true. They're not the biggest fan of you, are they, right now?